But, you know, the action is about to do the talking for us, to a certain extent, I suppose, because our job is actually to talk about the action. But you know what I mean. You know what I mean. We'll have Fnatic on the CT side. I really don't know what to expect, so I'm curious. You know, Pact, they've already lost Minis, and they've managed to make their way into the B site, although the bomb is not there just yet. But Fnatic are pretty prepared to play this retake. They've got an HE and a smoke, which is actually pretty huge, because you can play that smoke. You can do a retake smoke so that you cut off any players that are trying to take vision from Banana, and that's actually really powerful. And the HE as well. There's so many good spots for it, and so we'll see exactly how that works with Fnatic. They've already tossed the HE. I didn't see exactly where it went, but
it was on the planner.
Oh, okay.
They did a little bounce.
The classic.
Yes. Oh, that's an interesting smoke for the retake, actually. It lands the first oranges instead. Goofy, though, will be fighting from Banana, and it just leaves Darko here. He's at Nubox right now in a 1v3, gets 1 kill, looking for more. He has the P250, looking, and Crims will take him down. So Fnatic with the 1-0 start. And I just have to bring up again the fact that they threw a smoke on the retake for first oranges to try to scale up. It isolates the players that could potentially be at first or second oranges or Nubox, as opposed to the typical one at Banana. That was
yeah.
I'm sure that put Pact in a situation they weren't all too familiar with, actually.
I kind of like it. It forces them, because a lot of teams, you said, smokes the left side towards the Banana side and focus on the site. But if you throw it by the oranges or whatnot and focus on the Banana, kind of eliminates the post plant spot in that area towards the Banana, which seems to be a little difficult to taking over on post plants in general.
I also like that Fnatic played retake pistol round as opposed to splitting their players up more conventionally, because I think that just increases consistency. Yeah, you'll likely concede the bomb plant pretty reliably, but you'll be much more likely to win the rounds ultimately. So I like that that's how they think about it. Especially on this map, you do want to start off with a good economy, and I don't think you care really as much if the other team are able to force buy because they got a bomb down. That said, we don't actually have a force buy here from Pact. They are just rocking the Glocks.
Oh,
and
there it is, the golden ace. Or no, dang it, Brolin got one. Gosh darn it, Brolin.
Those eco kills, he just saw one, he was like, no, mine, mine, my eco.
Yeah, I was thinking about the theory behind it a little bit, and I think Thorns brought it up on some of his videos, just how people seem to be playing kind of the retake style more, that you mentioned that it's oftentimes on CT pistol rounds more of a stack affair, because they'd rather either just win the round at that bomb site or just deny any kind of plant at all, just fight to stop that plant entirely, or if they give it up, then just have that consistent approach. And early utility war at Banana goes 1-for-1 for both teams.
It really goes both ways for the retake, and I think teams, it's just easier not to play retake, so a lot of teams don't do it, because it does take a lot more teamwork, coordination, and saving utility for retakes to work, especially a map like Inferno. You need smokes, you need flash, you need Molotovs for that late round to eliminate all the common post-plant spots. So it's just in general easier not to play retake, try to get the fast kills, get the number advantage, and this whole like off-angle cross hires when they try to take a bomb site.
It's a pretty good spot for Pact to be in right now, 4v4. And they're going to make the burst towards this B-bomb side, but that's a nice double from Crims. In fact, staying up on the flowers just in case there was another swing, but it will actually be nice to find him as he makes his way to the site with cover of smoke. 2v2 ensues now as Fnatic are very close to this. So they've got loads of time to make this one work. The initial utility we throw, and there's still a Molotov remaining for Pact on the last player left.
Okay.
We're all in.
Out goes Sobel for the duel. 1v1 by JW, that's not going to work out. Sobel is quite low though, and he's able to make his way through the smoke. It looked like he got stuck there, but he's found a little bit of elevation to play with, and that's going to potentially give him an advantage. He can go on. Oh, this could be huge actually. Yeah, he's surely nailed this. I saw that going wrong.
Yeah.
I saw that going wrong.
Other than that last part, the whole thing was pretty good by him to toss a smoke, kind of like a lurks smoke right next to himself and a FB, and then he eliminate one of the two big angles where Fnatic came from.
Yeah.
And it was a great 1-on-2 by Sobel.
It kind of worked as it works as a one-way too when he hits that ledge right there.
Yep.
If Brolin does approach from CT at the just right angle for Sobel, then he can see over it better than Brolin can see him. It's how Minis got that kill onto Crims earlier in the round.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good post plant or clutch.
Yeah.
And they're immediately on the board, and that's good to see, given what we witnessed in the first map. Oh dear.
Golden is Deagle.
Yeah, Golden's got very good first bullet accuracy, so he's definitely a Deagle monster. And got to be really careful about that. I will go for the challenge. Let's show some confidence, not playing too scared, which can happen in rounds like this. Flushes at the back of the side. He's been great, actually. The last couple days, he's been really good. He's a danger for sure, lurking in the depths with the Deagle, and he's not going to be able to find anything though. That's good push from Pact. Still winnable here for Fnatic though. It's a 2v3, and they have the Deagles in hand still.
Brolin, though, just freshly smoked off at Coffins right now. Will be rather difficult for them to try to get into this round. Brolin does have a smoke, so he could smoke that bomb at some point, but it looks like Fnatic are already posturing to try to find exits here. Perhaps just look for a kill at the end of the round. Something cheeky, keep a gun into the next round. There's actually no armor on either of these players between Brolin and Crims, so finding a Mac 10 becomes a lot less useful than it would otherwise. But Crims would still love to take someone's head off right here. He's looking for it. He actually does find Goofy with body shots. And actually, Minis dies in construction, so that's a lot of damage being inflicted. Will Crims... No, he doesn't get a gun.
Ooh, that would have been really, really huge.
Yeah, I think that was an AK too, so that would have been a really good pickup.
Oh, 2-2, and Pact have... They have control effectively. They'll be up against a bye, but if they're able to win this round, they'll start to, unless they lose everybody, they'll start to build their own economy, and they'll start to really be able to dictate the rounds out to Fnatic. If they can take away utility advantage from Fnatic, that would be huge. They are going for that initial pressure towards Banana. We do get a smoke by the logs, which is going to cause problems. Pushing beyond this smoke is not going to be advisable, and an HE into logs is also now very... Well, it is potentially likely. We'll see if that's something that actually happens. Very common to nade that spot.
Wow, this is a very extended fight at Banana, and it looks like actually Pact do come out on top at the end. They lose a lot of HP, but regardless, they find this map control here, and it looks like they want to work right off of this. 4 players already positioned here in the Banana. And good spam coming out from Darko. That'll actually really soften Golden up for this approach. And yeah, it looks like at this point, Pact will be going for the full exec. They don't have too much utility left, so probably just that single CT smoke and maybe a new box Molotov as well. But, well, they decide to back off. 45 seconds and a single smoke. They favor their chances elsewhere, maybe expecting that Fnatic would have rotated a player over. And it's actually a great read, given that JW right now is moving over towards CT spawn pretty deep right now. And this is a weakened A site for Fnatic.
The one thing, though, is that Pact are doing this with no information, so it's also possible that one of the Fnatic players could have made an info play top mid. So that didn't happen in this occasion. Fnatic playing very passive, as you noted, and great defense from Bralan, anchoring that side very effectively. Crims also playing from the same position, and they've totally gutted the push. There's just 2 players left, no time to do anything, and yeah, that's one of those interesting situations where I think Pact try to cut a corner, and one thing that they could have done is they could have waited a certain amount of time and then executed onto the B site, and that's one way they could have done it. But usually the safe way to do something like that is you run the default, you take Banana control, you take top mid control, and then you put the pressure on Banana, then you go with a lurker left towards top mid. You would decide, okay, we can push back there. because at least then you know what the CTs are doing.
Yeah.
So that's the typical safe way to do it. But a lot of teams cut those corners.
Yeah, I think the fight at Banana was just so long that Pact almost didn't feel like they had that option, perhaps. They also just didn't have much utility left, and Golden finding the first kill. Pact with a weakened buy here won't be able to force him back this time around, and the Molotovs are trapping Darko. There's a smoke that lands there, and Darko actually able to find the kill on a Flusha, looking for a second, does get that onto Golden, and it's a 3-on-3 situation. Brolin is still in a great position to stop this B push, and he might do just that. Good spray through the smoke from him, and he's looking for more with that nade, but it looks like at this point he will back off. Oh, but the boost comes out, and he's able to find another quite quickly, which just leaves Goofy. He has an AK, but no utility. Has the bomb as well, but there isn't much for him to work with here. They know his position as well because of that shot. So this will be a very difficult clutch attempt, especially when JW is waiting in the smoke right there. Takes his head right off. Fnatic find their 4th round off of, I think that was a force buy. Yeah, that was a force buy from Pact, so their money's not looking too good now.
Yeah, that was potentially very problematic, Darko, with the double there to try to convert in an otherwise terrible position on Banana, and that's again that's a good dynamic to focus on, how Banana control kind of happens. Does one team get like a huge utility advantage or a huge map control or information advantage? Who is that? Which team is that? Either way, we'll have to wait and see with that. We have a force buy coming out from Pact, but it is, of course, pistols, and it's actually quite a lot of utility. They could do a lot with this. Fnatic have taken that Banana control. With pistols, I would love to see Pact do, but like 5 seconds before that smoke disappears on Banana, to like flash through it and actually just challenge and call the bluff. With pistols, that could be very effective.
But the problem is that Fnatic is pushed down towards the Banana area, and now they have 4 people stacked A, and that's where Pact is going.
One thing you're supposed to do here is you throw this one flash that flashes the player playing car or half wall on Banana. That's usually what you're supposed to do. But they're actually going to keep the challenge alive here, and there's just so many Fnatic players ready to respond to this. Of course, 4 players did get their way towards that A side to hold things down with the Banana control that exists. However, Pact with those trades have actually created a situation where they have time and a 3v3 on their hands now.
Yeah, and there was actually a smoke at Arch that Crims could not see through, and he doesn't know if anyone lurked into CT yet. So he's pretty much forced to play this library position and just juggle all of these angles right now. He doesn't exactly know where Pact went. I think he's getting a feeling that he wasn't timing yet. So he's able to rotate onto B. Flusha playing a more retake style at CT, and Pact, they don't wait for their CT smoke to actually bloom, and that costs their life there. Crims is able to find the follow-up kill as well, which leaves just Darko once again in the 1v2. He has a Molotov to work with, just tossing it, though, towards CT. Now he'll push towards construction. He finds the challenge, and he gets that headshot against Crims, looking for the kill against Brolin. This would be a huge round for Pact to win. The bomb plan is already great for them, given that this was a force buy. But now he'll tuck himself into the emo position around this pillar right now. Brolin looking for something, and Darko, his crosshair is in a perfect position right now to take out Brolin. Will he turn? No, he won't. Darko holds his ground, and he does find the 1v2. Very good stuff from him.
Yeah, very good turnaround from Pact right there, especially after getting those kills in the middle. Falling back to B, kind of expecting Fnatic to rotate a person towards A, which they did earlier in the round, and especially in that post-plant scenario. Darko getting those kills.
It's good too, because like they would have lost that round because of crossing before a smoke blooms. It really sucks to lose a round to a mistake like that. So that, even though that's something that can be revisited later in review, it's nice that in the game you have a teammate that can come redeem those moments immediately, so you don't have to think about them. And look at this. This is cool. Crims is towards bench right now. And, oh, wow. Good movement to escape there. Crims has been spotted. Can he find his way out of this position? He can't find his way out of it. Brolin's able to get a forward kill to try to capitalize on the fact that Crims is so far forward. That's beautiful as well from JW, finding one deep through the smoke. And that forces Pact's hand to go B at this point. They've got so little control around A. And they have a timing towards this B site. Although the timing, I think, is actually gone now. As there are 2 players ready here. Look how often Fnatic are playing retake. I really like this. I think it makes a lot of sense.
It's an interesting game plan, but when you have the utility to back it up, it can be a very wise play. They have a couple of Molotovs still, which can flush out a lot of these positions from Pact, and Pact can't even get the bomb down because of it, but doesn't even seem to matter. Darko, feeling it from the previous round, is able to take down one. Golden with the response onto Goofy, and it's just now Lunatic. He's at the water position, looking towards CT. The flashes are coming all over him, though. They are flying everywhere, and Lunatic, nice headshot onto Golden, looking for more, but he will be pinched, and Brolin takes him down.
Good stuff. That was pretty crazy. What a way to round. You know, he starts out with Crims just sitting on bench, not able to get the frag because of the hazy action, the bunny hopping, the air strafing, and then Pact forced the issue and B, and it could have gone. You know, that was a pretty good shout. Like, they're definitely putting up a much better fight than on the first map. That is without question. Regardless, though, it's back to the pistols for them, and Fnatic. Last time it was around like this, they opted to go for deep banana control. They've got 3 players banana and they're doing the same thing. They got that deep banana control once again. Previously, I really wanted to see Pact challenge this smoke. You have to challenge this smoke every so often. You cannot allow the team to just always get a free 1-4 setup, which is what happened in that previous occasion. And then Pact walked into the 4-man setup. You have to call the bluff, and you've got to challenge that. Like pop flash through it. The other thing that you can do is as I mentioned before, just throw some flashes over the wall to flash off the half-wall player so that he has to fall back at least. So he loses that info for his team, which could also cause a rotation off of A. Oh. But instead, Brolin just sprays down 2 players. So there you go.
Nice. Feels nice to have that perfect timing of spamming, and there's just 2 people behind the smoke. Very good game sense by Brolin.
Brolin. Yes. The desperation play into the B-bomb side. Hello.
He's just trying to buy time for his teammate to plant the bomb. Flusha.
It looks so on.
You look close.
Flu.
Darko again. 1v4 though this time. He isolates the banana angle, but Golden just pops on through the smoke and takes him down. Brolin had a quiet start in the pro scene where he was really hyped up by players such as Flusha, JW. They all were singing his praises of what he was doing in scrims, but he definitely wasn't too hot to start, just felt kind of like an average professional in all honesty. But man, last year did he really turn up. He seemed to really ascend. He was one of the just best Krieg players in the world, and I think it's really carried over to his rifle game, even after the Krieg nerf.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of especially for a player that's very young. My hunch is that most people, at least the experience that I have, what I've seen, the majority of people need time to get used to like LAN environments, to pressure, to playing at a high level. Like it takes a while for them to kind of normalize to it, to be able to really perform as you would expect them to be able to perform. And I just guess that Brolin's just probably kind of par for the course in that sense.
Yeah.
There are some players though, just from the get-go, just are exceptional in those environments, but that seems to be a lot rarer. Is that just Glocks? That's like a bunch of Glocks to me.
P250.
Oh, P250s?
Yeah, I think it's P250s, but...
Oh, it is, yeah.
Might
Too far away from the screen.
Yeah, might be just a similar result, though. Find a couple kills. Nice for Pact to inflict a bit of damage there, but all in all, it's not too big of a blow to the Fnatic economy. They are still looking rather healthy.
What's, again, I really can't emphasize it enough. What's worrying is that whenever Fnatic want to take deep banana control, they get it, and it's never challenged. And that's kind of a problem, because that just gives way too many... There's too much of an information advantage, too much of a rotation advantage that then exists for Fnatic, and it's something that's very easy to take away. That's kind of the thing, like, there needs to be a protocol when that deep smoke, you see that deep smoke as a T side, that, there are rounds where you decide to challenge it. Like this! There we go. Beautiful. Flashing through it, that's a good move. keep Fnatic honest, make them invest more utility, or force them back onto the site because they don't want to do that. If they fight, they risk giving up kills here. Oh, maybe Flush is just too good. Got that nade for Darko. Look like Device from where I'm saying. I need glasses for sure, man. Like,
yeah, I had to bring mine out today. Yeah. I was having some difficulty with it as well. Crims, though, finds the timing as Goofy tries to lay down the shock smoke at Arch. And Sobel knows that it's his time to strike. A good lurk at Balcony, but he's not able to convert that into a kill. It was actually shaping up pretty nicely for him until JW did flick over there. Almost found it.
Oof, such a hard position to be in. 2 versus 5 on Inferno. It's not an easy one. You gotta... I mean, Flush is on the angle with an AWP too. Pretty important swing. Able to avoid Flush's AWP for now. Lutic even takes down Flusher. That's pretty nice, but Crims, out comes the Deke. Unable to hit the shots. So we're actually going to get a plant out of this, potentially. No, okay. Comes off of it. JW will take him down. That's a 8-3 scoreline now for Fnatic. Again, it feels like Fnatic are very comfortable most of the time. They're being pushed here or there a little bit, but generally speaking, we're not seeing the kind of chaos we saw when Fnatic played Heroic. Yeah. Beautiful chaos.
I think Pact, so they did the right thing of taking over, so having a little bit of not letting Fnatic take over map points or map choke points. But the thing is, you'll see a lot of teams towards this banana side toss deeper Molotovs, like towards this corner, to kind of split up the sandbag and corner person. So you have to do just a little bit more than just taking the banana. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have that deep Molotov to slow down the CTs to buy yourself time to get up in the banana area.
Yeah, it's been pretty difficult for them at that point of the map. And was hoping for maybe a little bit more. Oh, okay, well, maybe I'll hold that thought for just a second. Wow, actually, Sobel with 2 P250 kills out of nowhere, now pushing through the smoke with an AWP.
Yeah.
There's a real chance for him in this round to steal one from Fnatic. Crims, though, playing a very passive game at CT right now. In the smoke is Sobel. He makes his way over to the tree position, but Crims still holding his ground at that position. Will find the kill. A valiant attempt from Sobel, and yeah. Back to the banana point, I agree. It feels like Pact, they're putting up a better fight for map control in this game, but it still is missing a couple key components. It doesn't seem like you said, they don't have the Molotov at the corner or sandbags. Usually you throw one or the other, so you get kind of that half-wall position so that you can isolate the fights a little bit better, or just even take the space in general. And it doesn't, I don't know if they're lacking the utility or just aren't proceeding with it all, and maybe they're forgetting. I don't know. Maybe they have just a different approach entirely.
Well, if they can get 1 or 2 more rounds on the board, maybe that will be enough, depending on how good their CT side is. Sometimes with teams like this as well, like one half can look very different to another. As opposed to, let's say, Fnatic, who obviously they're going to be a pretty well-rounded team. They know how to play all of the sides on all of the maps. They're very experienced. But with teams like Pact, you just never know. We'll see a flash for Nana. Oh. And Flush is going to take a lot of molly damage there, trying to stay out for the peak. And now falling into passive positions. Although that said, they got a pretty aggressive setup in the apartments, which is good for a 1-for-1, which early in the round is not favorable at all for the CTs. Pact have banana control, but Fnatic have top mid control.
Yeah. Fnatic with a really good response in this round to just take that bracket control with the 3 players that were remaining at A. It's already causing a quick rotation to come out, and there's a big gap actually in the CT smoke right now. If these Fnatic players rotate in fast enough, they will be able to abuse that, but Crims can't find the kill through it actually. So the plant will go down. 4v4 situation, but very light utility on the Pact side. They have a Molotov, but they'll burn that immediately, and it's just a flash that remains for Darko. He just throws that towards CT at this point, which will enable Lunatic actually to press on forward, and he's able to find a couple of kills off of it, but it's still a 2v2. JW and Crims now have to try to retake this. Good Molotov towards New Box. And it doesn't actually force anyone out. It's a double dark setup. Goofy right in front of Emo gets taken out with a close range op shot from JW. It's just Darko in the clutch once again, but he's mollied out of position, and Crims and JW make short work of him.
Wow, that's actually a really good retake by Fnatic. It's not easy retaking this bomb site 4-on-4, especially when the teams have such strong position forward and defensively. But somehow Fnatic pulls it off, and they just grind away the round in the post plant.
Yeah, that's the risk you run with a kind of an early take anywhere on Inferno, is that B, for example, if you just hit that early with a rush, you see so many high-level games where a B rush, which is successful in taking the bomb site, even sometimes getting a kill, is just stopped by or countered by a retake with full utility, because CTs have been or pros have been so good at just finding all these different molly lineups, nade lineups, how to smoke off every angle, throw the perfect pop flash to enable that retake to commence. And Fnatic used their utility very, very well in that one.
Well, this round they're being pretty passive. Fnatic, that is. Not really challenging for Banana. They're allowing Pact to sort of just walk up. And Pact, they have, the top mid take is available to them now. Okay, retake. We're getting a retake set of nades here from Fnatic. We are towards top Banana. It's working out quite nicely.
Okay.
And there you go. So Pact. So in doing a move like that with for Fnatic, they actually retain a lot more utility later into the round, as opposed to taking Banana initially and using more nades to do it. They have such a good read of exactly what Pact are doing right now, I think.
Yeah. It was a great time Molotov as well from the Arch side. Crim should be good for at least one from this position at the cubby. Doesn't look like he'll be checked. In fact, he'll be flashed on forward, and he's able to find two with that swing, and it just leaves a couple of players, a pair for Pact at this point in the round.
Oh, looking good. One taking off at the balcony. Sobel falls, and that leaves Maniz. And he'll get taken down as well. So Broline will have the honor of that kill. 11-3 as Fnatic are making it look like the first map, ultimately score-wise at the very least, as Pact struggle. And one thing is that it just kind of looks like Pact don't have like a super clean execution on some of their defaults. And I wouldn't say that Fnatic's really playing in a way that's too disruptive. If Pact wanted to like really force a good default, I feel like they could probably do it against Fnatic. We get a pretty aggressive opening here, just smoking the molly to try to allow forward play, but Darko unable to really do so. The counter utility from Fnatic is proving effective in this case. And that will be one player sacrificed to the gods. May not stop there.
Oh, wow. Flusha, two through the smoke. One was on top of the logs, but wow, another shot on the logs from Flusha there. And it just leaves Goofy here. Would love to get an 11-4 scoreline for his team, but chances are looking rather slim with just a Galil and just barely any utility. Pincered from every angle. He will fall. Brolin is able to take him down, and we will be headed to a short break before halftime. Can Pact keep themselves alive here at the CS Summit Regional Qualifier?
This is business.
As usual. For
Business
Fnatic.
usual for Fnatic.
Yeah.
So 12-3, not a great scoreline, and I think if there's one thing to take from Pact, killing chickens over there.
No, already a knife for the Pact side.
Oh dear.
So we'll talk about after the game what they could have done a little better. So right now, Fnatic is setting up for B-Take?
Yeah, they got 2 mollies and 2 smokes. It's definitely looking like they've got something in store. But it's a 4-man B stack, so they've guessed correctly. But the problem is that if the molly, I mean, there's got to be the mollies going backside, right? So
Emo and Nubox, surely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So might actually be more of a hindrance than a help to have so many players dancing around in the mollies. We'll see. Will get thrown in. Brolan's trying to be as much of a bullet soaker as possible with that maneuver. And Lunatic's going through. He's the guy that knifed a teammate trying to find redemption. And you know what? Redemption might be found here because it is a victory for Pact in the pistol. And the bomb doesn't go down either. So Fnatic don't really have that much. Well, they don't really have a good option to win this round. But there you go.
It's cool and selfless for Brolin to jump through like that, but after he loses literally all of his movement speed, I'm pretty sure he was just jumping up and down, looking, just kind of looking at the ground. And after a while, you gotta say, "All right, I did my job," and you turn around and start shooting back. But
it's true. At some point, you gotta abandon the plan.
No, I love when entry fraggers do that actually though, because it is so hard for USBs to find a player that's jumping in backwards. On Dust2 at B, for example, that's actually the ideal entry fragger on a pistol round, just jumping in. Jump just like that. Might actually be almost seeing it too much in the pro scene lately, but we'll see what Fnatic can do with the Glocks here. Doesn't look like it's too much. Goofy and Manise shutting him down. Goofy and Manise almost reminds me of a Disney duo, but
yeah, Goofy.
They're all business in that round.
Been enjoying.
Goofy and Mini.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right. Well, Fnatic will be on a full buy now. After that back and forth, and this is always a scary situation because as the CTs, like you would expect something aggressive from the CTs most of the time in these scenarios because they have their SMGs and so on. Usually it's going to be a banana aggression, like 3-star banana, which is exactly what we're seeing. And so Fnatic should be aware of that though. So I'm curious what their kind of counterplays will look like, because we'll see how much utility is dumped here by the CTs. Like how much will they invest? It's a fair amount, so to begin with, and Golden's going to find a headshot immediately. That's a bad look for the CTs. You can see that Fnatic are much more controlled with their utility, just sort of trying to hold on to a little bit more there. And they might just get... If they wanted to take banana control, they could, especially because they got a kill towards that position.
But the B lurk from Fnatic is taken out there. Flusha does fall. And Manise playing close to this mid-smoke right now. May be pop flash off. Actually, it doesn't look like Fnatic will be throwing a flash in his direction, but it'll just be bullets that come at him. Brolin takes him down, and Sobol throwing a smoke towards Big Pit right now, trying to disguise the fact that he is playing Mini. It's all up to him in this 1v4, but Fnatic know that he is likely on the A site at this point. There are a lot of chickens next to him. You can see them spinning actually right in front of him.
What if he did that on purpose?
Yeah, but Fnatic know where he is at this point. They'll just be planting it, be playing the safe game, and Sobel will be left with just his chickens at this point, raising a little bit of a farm there. There's so many. There's like 3 on top of each other.
I haven't seen that before. Have you?
No, not recently. I think I've seen some get stuck in corners, but not in that spot specifically.
Yeah,
I've never seen it
around.
Yeah.
I wonder if he did do that on purpose.
He pressed E on them all and then just let them go.
Well, I mean, if you walked a certain spot, they kind of follow kind of where you go. So maybe he hopped up on something and got caught in that little bucket.
If you press E on them, they'll follow you, and it'll say when they die, it'll say that chicken was yours for how many seconds and things.
It's sad when you have it for a couple rounds and then your teammate just blasts it.
I've lost a couple teammates like that before. Just had to call them out.
It's like, dude.
Yeah, vote kick at that point.
Dude. It happens, but you know what?
Come on, bro. That was my chick. Hate to see chicks get in between teammates.
Seen it all before, but moving on. That's another story for another time.
Is there hope? Is there any hope? Well,
it's a nice little nade, you know. Chipping away at the block. 2 double nade. Triple nade. Golden getting taken down to 18 HP. He's not having a fun time over there.
But the important thing is he's still alive.
Yeah, that's true.
Still alive and kicking.
CTs don't technically know if those nades landed or not. They might have an idea.
Yeah. Well, right now, Pact is playing really passively. And the top mid take is going to come through for Fnatic. They have the option to go back towards Banana. Flush has been playing Banana really passively. But he has enough of a hold of it that they could rotate. They don't know what's that top Banana yet, though, but it's enough.
Wow.
Oh, just a cursory spray there through the corner. It's going to find a frag. That's a huge pick to get. Pact are now playing 2 to a bomb site. This is very typical to see. Obviously, they just lost a guy on A, but it's pretty typical to see if the CDs go down to 4 players, they'll reset into these kinds of positions. And we're going to see the execute coming through onto the B bomb sites. Gotta go on the boost. Tick able to find one on the side of the smoke there towards Emo. Doing a decent enough job, but Doc is unable to find anything whilst the distraction is present. And he's going to get isolated and fragged as well. So pretty systematic and methodical approach from Fnatic is working out nicely here so far.
Yeah, that's pretty textbook B take with the flashes and everything. And Fnatic really knows their routes and what every single nade is hitting. Every flashbang, what it kind of takes out. Because they had tossed a perfect pop flash for the person kind of at the new box, on top of the new box area. And then they just had smokes, and they kind of systematically, as Dan said, like take over angles. And it looked pretty easy taking that bomb site out of the way Fnatic did it. Just like casual, easy. You know, I'm just out here having a good time, guys. Let's take B bomb site.
Very methodical. That's 14-5. And again, it feels like Fnatic aren't really trying to do anything too complicated. They're not trying to like play a really aggressive, gambly type of banana investment early in the round. They're kind of just letting. They're throwing in some investment and sort of just seeing, okay, what's Pact doing? Are they trying to be really aggressive themselves? You know, we'll just get the information and figure it out, as opposed to running in blinds. Running in blind does work on banana sometimes, though. You'll see teams throw it in every so often. And here we go. Golden is just charging forwards. Oh my god, Darko running through the Molotov there.
Wow. Good stuff from Golden. Looking for more. Lunatic does take him down, but he is now the only remaining player. He actually finds a second as well. This is a little bit tricky for Fnatic now, as he will be just jumping on through that smoke. Had a chance, actually. Very brief one at that, but Brolin does find him. Fnatic put themselves at map and match point here. They'll have 10 opportunities to take down Pact.
Doesn't look good.
Nah.
Looks too easy for Fnatic, and that's not a great sign for Pact in terms of coming back.
No, they put up a better fight on Fnatic's map pick, as a matter of fact.
There's a little micro adjustments that we could talk about that per se won't make them win the map, but you know, there's a couple things that make things a lot closer, a lot easier in the long run. Heyo! Watch it get
So
lucky
blind.
right there. That's good. It happens.
Yeah, just Lunatic to defend now. He tries throwing a little bit of a dribble smoke, but it goes a little farther than I think he intended. But he still manages to preserve his life. Actually finds a kill onto Flusha. But now it is just Manise in the 1v4. The bomb has been planted. He only has a scout to work with, and he will be taken down. Crims finds him. Fnatic makes short work of Pact, securing themselves a position in the 5th place decider game. Very convincing stuff for Fnatic. Hopefully they can take some of that momentum into the next game.
So there's obviously a lot of points that you can make on what Pact can do a lot better next time. But I guess something to take away from the couple maps is, one, just have like a map on the last map, having to adjust. You need to be able to adjust how you're able to position yourself and whatnot. And I guess on that map's on Inferno is like they had an idea of how to take stuff, but they're missing like one little piece of the puzzle that may have opened up a lot more in their T side.
Yeah. We'll get more into that. In the post game.
We'll talk more about after.
There'll be a quick break now though, and we will flesh out some of these ideas in just a little bit.